up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really sucking the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets from New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people of the streets, where do they go? To meet the Mets. Oh, they're hollering, they're cheering, and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets. All the fans are true to the orange and blue. So hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball from the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell, give 'em a hand, and let 'em know you're rooting in the stand. Come on and meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really sucking the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town. Of New York town.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice, and we're presenting 1987 APBA replay using the New York Mets. This is game 39, May 22nd, 1987 versus the LA Dodgers in Flushing, New York at Shea Stadium. Remember, this is your home for tutorials, strategy, player profiles, history, reviews, news, tips, tops, baseball cards, rants, and so much more. And it's going to be Fernando Valenzuela facing off against David Cone. 1987 ball game. Now the big news in this replay is Darryl Strawberry, who is really dominating the league with he's got, I think, 16 home runs in 39 games. So he's really knocking down those fences, busting up those fences. And we're using the iPad, using iScore in this replay. It's a little bit different. It goes a little bit faster. APBA plays very, very fast, particularly APBA Basic. This is my childhood game, so it's near and dear to my heart. And I enjoy playing these, streaming these for nostalgia. And we're going to get started. It's going to be Steve Sachs at second base. He's leading off, followed by John Shelby, the center fielder, Ken Landreau, the right fielder, and Pedro Guerrero in the cleanup spot in left field. Batting fifth is the catcher, Mike Scioscia. Batting sixth is Tracy Woodson, the third baseman. He's got a square card, which is like the extra player cards. You didn't get these are the original cards, and these are the ones I get. You can get them pretty cheap. You can get them for about $30, a little bit more. If you're lucky, a little bit less. And I try to just kind of stick to the main players. You know, I will go with the Mets, and I will try to print out using Steve's APBA card maker the rest of the players. So my stats are going to be kind of realistic, and one guy doesn't have like 100 more bats than he should. But with the teams that I'm playing, you know, I kind of be a little bit looser with it. Although I have been known to make players for the teams, for the opponents as well, here and there, especially when they start a game. I didn't have to do that here. I did have to pull Bill Madlock from the Detroit Tigers because he, at this point, May 22nd, he's still with the LA Dodgers. I guess eventually he goes over to the Detroit Tigers. And let's see where we're. Tracy Woodson, the third baseman. Franklin Stubbs, the first baseman, batting seventh. Mariano Duncan, the shortstop. batting 8th, and Fernando Valenzuela is batting 9th. He's the pitcher. And David Cohn is a Y pitcher. And that doesn't mean why is he starting. That means he's got an additional strikeout potential, according to the APBA basic system. And hold on a second. There we go. All right, let's get the. All right, a little bit of sound in the background. Otherwise, I don't want it too loud, but I don't want it total quiet. All right, let's get started. Steve Sax. Steve Sax versus David Cohn. I got to get the chart book. Hold on, let me grab that. I don't know what I did with that. Got it. All right, what do we get? 41. I don't have to look up many results. This is a ground ball shortstop, and Rafael Santana gets it on a hop, fires the first, and that's one away, 6-3. Steve Sax grounds out. He eventually goes to the Yankees. And next is John T-Bone Shelby. He's got a 1 at 66 and a 5 at 11. Those are power numbers that are decent. 21, and that's a fly ball lifted in the gap. McReynolds over and makes the catch. That's 2 down. All right. There we go. And coming up next is Kenny Landreau, KT Landreau, outfielder. Plays right field. He's a 2, which is kind of middle of the road. Let's say 1-3, 40 is going to be a foul ball. And the 2-1's a fly ball, high fly ball, left side. Johnson back, McReynolds in. McReynolds calls him off, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for David Cohn. Mookie Wilson leading off against Fernando Valenzuela. Let's take a quick look at Valenzuela's card here. He's a CY pitcher. CY pitcher. All right. Here's the pitch to Wilson. That's snake eyes. That's going to take us into the double column. This may go for extra bases, and it splits the outfielders and goes to the wall. And Mookie Wilson, hustling around first, slides into second base with a double, leadoff double for Mookie. And that's got the crowd pumped up. Next is Tim Tuffle. Tim Tuffle has a 0.22, which puts him in the it allows him to hit more extra base hits. And that is a 22. Look at that. We pointed that number out. We made it happen. So we're going to roll on the second column now, and a 26, and that's going to be a ball that's hit fairly well, and that's going to be off the wall. Back-to-back doubles into second base is Tuffle. And the Mets are already up. Now, the Mets have a tremendous record. In this replay, they're 26-12. In reality, they were 19-20 after this game. So the Mets have gotten off to a torrid start here in 1987. Now, the reason I picked 1987, I could have picked, hey there, who's there? Hey, Rick, man, how are you, brother? Yeah, the Yips. I could have picked 86, or I could have done 88, which they actually go to Game 7 against the Dodgers, of the National League Championship Series. Or I could have picked 1986, where they win 108 games. But I picked 1987 because I felt that they were only, I believe they ended up 3 games out behind the Cardinals in 1987. And I felt with, a couple of lucky games here and there, and somebody gets hot and so on, they could actually beat the Cardinals. And I'd like to replay that season, Anyway. All right, so it's back-to-back doubles to start off the game here against Fernando Valenzuela. And the Mets are up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Here goes Keith Hernandez. Oh, that's foul ball. That's a 3-2. That's a ground ball, second base. Going to third is Tuffle. And the Dodgers are going to play the infield back on this. They're going to basically allow the run to score. Here's McReynolds, 56, and that's popped up. That's the shortstop. And let's double check that's not a strikeout of some kind. We'll run at second. And no, it is not. Popped up, and that's the shortstop is, who is that? Mariano Duncan makes the catch for out number 2. And now it's Darryl Strawberry. Darryl Strawberry's gotten off to a crazy start. And you know what? I'll pitch to him his first inning. Here goes. 36, and a 36 is ball 4. So they pitch to Darryl Strawberry, but very, very carefully. And he's on at first. So you got first and second, 2 outs, and Gary Carter, the kid. Originally a Montreal Expo. Snake Eyes. That's going to take us into double second line, and that's going to be a ball that's pulled down the line into the corner, and Pedro Guerrero after it. And coming around to score easily is Tim Tuffle, and behind him is Darryl Strawberry, and into second base is Gary Carter with a 2-out double. So the Mets have taken a 3-0 lead, and this has been pretty much the story here. So that double clears the bases. The Mets are up 3-0. 2 RBIs for Gary the Kid Carter. And now it's Hojo, Howard Johnson. Hojo had tremendous power, hit about 39, 40 home runs. He's got a 1 at 11 and 1 at 66. Here's the pitch, and that's a 45, ball 4. So Valenzuela's lost his command. He's given up hits left and right. None over the fence yet. And Rafael Santana. That's a 62, and that's hit hard right at the third baseman. Woodson backhands it. Long throw to first in time and throws out Santana, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up 3 runs. They lead it 3-0. Go to the top of the second. It's Pedro Guerrero. 36, that's ball 4. 3-2 pitch, high outside. And Guerrero walks. He's on the first. Coney's a deep pitcher, even though he didn't have a very bad. And there goes. Nope, Guerrero's going to hold. This ball. 66, that's Sosha with a steep drive of some kind, and that's going to be one hop off the wall. And stopping the third base is Sosha, and is Guerrero, and Sosha's in there with a double. So second and third, nobody out. So right back come the Dodgers. Woody Woodson, Tracy Woodson, third baseman. He's got a square card, so it's a ground ball shortstop. Only one play. 6-3, that's going to allow a run to score. Now it's Franklin Stubbs. A 35 is a 37. That may get somebody picked off. I don't know if that's going to happen here, but it's always a possibility. Let's see. Run around second, 37. Runner caught off second base. So the David Cone spins and throws to Santana in the tag. He is out at second base. They pick off Mike Scioscia. What was he thinking? Holy smokes. So Mike Scioscia's picked off second base. Picked off, and it's going to be 1-6. There's 2 outs now, nobody on. And Stubbs still at the plate. So 21, that's a fly ball, left field. McReynolds is there, puts it away, and that retires the side. Next is Cone leading it off here in the bottom of the second. A 3-2 is a chopper to the second baseman. Sacks to his right. Off balance throw and gets Cone. So a nice play by Sachs. Bleacher Bums. Hey, what's up, man? I listened to your game like twice today. Half of the game in in my car, and then I started it from scratch on my TV later on. Hey there, Scott Howard. How are you, brother? Oh, Marciano Morrison, Rocky down the first. Wow, that's crazy stuff. I want to do what's his name? Raging Bull, the Raging Bull fights, or the Rumble in the Jungle. I'd like to see somebody do that. I know you. I think you guys have done that. Mookie Wilson. There's one out here. Bottom of the third, 3-1 Mets. Mets are off to a torrid start in 1987, 26-12. They are 14 games better. In other words, 7 in the win column and 8 in the loss column so far. That's a 26, and that's strike 3. High Heat gets Wilson for out number 2, and it's Tim Tuffle. 2 outs, nobody on, 5-1. And that's a ground ball up the middle and through to center field for a base hit. Tuffle's on at first. Next is Keith Hernandez. Oh, that's Snake Eyes. That's a 0. That's going to take us to the second column. Second column, 34. And that's a line drive down the right field corner. And that's going to bounce around out there. Ken Landreau after it. And let's see if we can get Tuffle to score. 2 outs, and here's the relay, and the throw to the plate is not in time. And it's a 2-out RBI double by Keith Hernandez. Keith Hernandez's nickname is Mex. I don't really get it because he's from Spain, has nothing to do with Mexico. But, you know, what am I going to tell you? You know, guys can differentiate Mexico from Spain back then, I guess, in the 80s. Or at least APBA did. And I know that APBA, I've heard some interesting stories about their I don't know what I was going to say. Doesn't matter. All right. Kevin McGrunis. So Hernandez with that 2-out double makes it 4-1 here in the bottom of the second. He's got a lot of scoring so far. It's a 1-3. That's a 40. A 40 with a runner in second is a ground ball to the second baseman. And that's Sachs. Whips it over to the first to, who's that at first base? Stubbs, and that retires the side. All right, Mariano Duncan leading it off here against Cone, 33. And that's a line shot left field base hit. Mariano's on with a leadoff single. And it's Valenzuela. I guess we're going to bunt with him. Let's squares. And that's a decent bunt to the third baseman. Johnson has only one play. And that gets a runner over to second. All right. So we got a runner in scoring position. It's 4-1. It's still early in the game. Steve Sachs, 32, and that's a ground ball. Chop to the second baseman, Tuffle. Over to first. Runner moves to third. I hear some kids skating outside my window. It's like midnight. And I can hear them back and forth. They're always damaging my my mailbox. All right, John T-Bone Shelby steps in the box. He's a switch hitter. He should be batting. Shelby should be batting lefty. Switch hitter. There you go. Batting lefty against the righty Cone. And Cone looks in for the sign. And here's the pitch. It's a 4-6. Strike 3. High Heat gets Shelby, and that retires the side. So Cone buzzes a fastball inside and retires Shelby. We go to Darryl Strawberry. Let's move that. There we go. All right, 61, and that's foul back in the stands. Again, a 16, a hard hit ground ball at Mariano Duncan across the diamond and throws out Strawberry. Mets are up 4-1. Bottom of the third. 22. That's line base hit left field. Guerrero plays it on a hop. The kid with his second hit of the game. So Carter's on at first. He's going to go station to station. Not going to be stealing 22. And that is a ball that's pulled and past Woodson into left field for a base hit. Stopping at second is going to be Carter. So back-to-back singles by Carter and Johnson, Hojo. And it's Rafael Santana. Here's the pitch to Santana at 53. A 20. We're going to look at this crazy chart. I got a unusual play randomizer. It's going to be 14, 19 with first and second. 19 with first and second. So he's at third base. That's going to be, 19 is going to be a ground ball to third base, and Woodson boots it, and that's going to load the bases. Bases are loaded. It's going to be an official score says E5. And the bases are loaded with only one out. So again, the Mets are threatening to score more runs. It's 4-1 Mets here in the bottom of the third. Again, they have the bases loaded with one out. So the Dodgers are going to bring the infield in. That's a 51. That's strike 3 on Cone. Curveball gets Cone. Why he's throwing the pitcher a curveball beyond me, but it's what Valenzuela does. Mookie Wilson with 2 outs and bases loaded. Let's see if we can get out of this one. 63. That's popped up right side, and Kenny Landreau towards the line, and he's there, and that retires the side. So the Mets leave the bases loaded. And we go to the top of the fourth. Kenny Landreau against David Cone. And 16, that's ground ball up the middle, and Santana gets there. Spinorama throws out Landreau. Guerrero's next, 33, and that's going to be a ball that's driven in the gap, and that's going to split the outfielders. McReynolds and Wilson both chase it down, and into second base with a one-out double is Pedro Guerrero, Pete Guerrero. Mike Scioscia next. That's Snake Eyes. That's going to take us into the second column. Let's see what that becomes. And that's going to be line base hit. Guerrero, I believe, is going to stop at third because he's a slow. I stop him at third. Don't want all those guys getting thrown out. So it's a single, and he stops at third. And then the way you run APBA is APBA gives the automatic stolen base. There goes Scioscia, throw down by Carter. Not in time. Scioscia surprises everybody. The catcher picks up a stolen base. So second and third now with only one out, and it's Tracy Woodson. Now another thing about APBA is that they don't show you any stats. They don't show you any stats on the cards, so that's something. But they do have the nicknames. They do say, hey, this guy's from Richmond, Virginia, weighed 216 pounds. Wow. Okay, they're pretty specific there. He's 6'3". That's right, throws right. Anyway, Woodson, second and third, one out, top of the fourth. David Cone looks in for the sign, sets, deals. That's a 15. That's line base hit center field. And one run scores. Mike Scioscia is going to have to pull up, and he's going to stop because he's another slow batter. But it's 4-2 now, and it's first and third. Franklin Stubbs, left-handed batter. Cone sets and deals, and here's the pitch, 45, and that is ball 4. Bases loaded. Bases loaded. High outside pitch, and Cone's not happy with that call, but he's going to have to deal with it. Bases loaded. Mariano Duncan, top of the fourth. 4-2 Mets. Only one out here, so this is a good opportunity. The Mets are still playing the infield halfway for the double play. Not worried about stopping the runner at the plate right here. It's a 54. That's a fly ball right field. I don't know that this is going to get anybody home. They're not going to get Mike Scioscia home here. Since he's a slow runner, he's going to have to hold up. So that's a fly out to right. And they're going to hold the runner at third. 2 outs now. Bases are still loaded, and it's the pitcher. This is where you have decisions. But you know what? This is 1987, and I'm the commissioner, so that says that what am I going to do? I'm going to let Valenzuela bat here. It's still a fourth inning, and you never know what can happen. That's strike three, and that's the inning. So the Dodgers leave the bases loaded, but they do come up with one run, and they creep a little bit closer. It's 4-2 now. Tim Tuffle. It's a 3-2 ground ball, chopped to second, sacks, waits back, and then charges it. Throws out Tuffle. Keith Hernandez, 4-2, and that's going to be ball four. So Hernandez on at first, and it's Kevin McReynolds, a 33, and that's a deep drive. Left field, back goes Guerrero to the track, to the wall, that's gone! 6-2. 6-2 Mets, and McReynolds connects with a Valenzuela fastball, drives it deep over the left field fence, over Pedro Guerrero's head. There's no doubt about that one. 6-2 Mets. McReynolds. And I can look up real quick McReynolds and see what home run that was. Just click on the name. That was home run number for McReynolds. Home run number, I believe it's 11. So the Mets are hitting home runs like they're going out of style. Darryl Strawberry next. 6-2. So we got to start thinking about removing Valenzuela, but it's a little bit early, so I want to squeeze a little bit more out of him. That's a ground ball hit hard at Woodson. Woodson across the diamond and throws out Strawberry. 2 down. Next is Gary the Kid Carter. Here's the pitch at 31. That's ball four. And it's Howard Johnson. And a 31 is Valenzuela. What is Valenzuela? Is a Y. So that's going to be ball four. Back-to-back walks, and that's going to have to be it for Valenzuela. So we're going to bring in we got a couple of guys here that actually pitched. Tim Leary, but they're both Ds. The Dodgers must have had an awful. Let's take a look at the Dodger envelope that I got. These are some custom envelopes. Yeah, they were 73 and 89. So they were horrible. They have terrible pitching. That's what I'm seeing right here. So Tim Leary's coming in. I'm going to have to write him in, add sub. Let me make sure he's not in there right now. So Tim Leary is being called in. That's going to be it for Valenzuela. It was not his day. And Tim Leary is a YZ. APBA didn't come up with a lot of basic. APBA's unchanged. This is my Cold War tabletop game. APBA's pretty much unchanged since 1958. This was like the McCarthy. And McCarthy used to roll APBA. Yeah, it is. Is it getting out of hand, or has it gotten out of hand? That's the question. Well, it's only 6-2. Yeah, let's not. I don't want the Mets to count their eggs before they're hatched. So you got Hojo on at first, Carter on at second, Rafael Santana 2 outs, so they can still get out of this inning. We pulled Valenzuela already, so Leary's in there. We're gonna pop him in the back end of that. Back into that party. And I hope to get at least 3 innings out of Leary for sure, because I need that. Santana. Here's the pitch. And it's a 6-1. That's a ground ball at Duncan. He flips the sacks, and that retires the side. So force out. The Mets pick up a couple more and go to the top of the 5th. See Steve Sachs leading off against Cone. See how far Cone can go, make my life much easier. And that's a ground ball through the left side for a base hit. So leadoff single for Steve Sachs, known as Saxy. He's from Sacramento, California. T-Bone Shelby's up. Here's the pitch to T-Bone. And that is going to be ball 4. So back-to-back base runners. So, yeah, I mean, the offense seems to be there. It's just the pitching is severely lacking for the Dodgers in 1987. That's what I'm learning. Kenny Landreau, it's a left-handed batter. Let's switch him over. It's this I score. You should try it out. It's very easy to use. Now this is probably the last time I'm going to use it. From now on, I'm going to buy the season with replay and replay the whole season. So I want to finish up these replays that I have going here using iScore and using ball score and all that. All right, 2-6, and that's a fly ball right field in the gap. Strawberry, and he makes the catch. Runs it down nicely. Strawberry got a good jump on that. For a second there, looked like he was full, but then seemed to be right there. Pedro Guerrero. 1 out. Oh, a 5-4, and that's popped up right side. Steve Sachs is fast. He may tag up on this. Let's see what happens. First and second. Fly ball right field, and there goes Sachs. The throw to third, not in time. First and third, so Sachs being frisky. Caught Strawberry sleeping a little bit there. So first and third, I guess Strawberry didn't know who was at second base. First and third, Mike Scioscia. Mike Scioscia's 2 for 2. He's got a double and a single. Here's a pitch from Coney. And that's a 15. That's line. Oh, no, and that's yes, it is. Line and drive. Base hit center field. Mookie Wilson plays it on a hop. And where's Shelby? What did I do with Shelby? Ah, there he is. Shelby's going to hustle over to third base. First and third. And the score now is 6-3 now. RBI single, a 2-out RBI single by Mike Scioscia. He's 3 for 3 on the day. And now it's Tracy Woodson. So that's the 7th hit allowed by Coney. He's getting beat up a little bit, but we're going to be patient with him. Hopefully there's 2 outs in this inning, so we're hoping he can get out of this inning. Here's the pitch from Coney, 56. And that is popped up infield. Santana and Tuffle in the middle of the field. Santana calls him off, makes the catch, and now retires the side. All right. So we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 6-3 Mets, and it's going to be David Cone, the batter. All right, 30. That was like 36, and that's going to be a strikeout. Curveball gets Cone. One away, and Wilson. 65, that's popped up. Scioscia throws the mask away and gets under by the screen, reaches out, and makes the catch up against the screen. Mike Scioscia. He was on that. He had that all the way. Tim Tuffman, that's 2 outs. And a 62 is a ball. And a 66 this time. That's a deep drive, left field. Back goes Guerrero to the track, to the wall, gone. 7-3. Tim Tuffle gets a hold of one here and makes the score 7-3 Mets. Takes his time rounding the bases. He's enjoying that. Doesn't hit a lot of them. He's no Strawberry. But he busts up a fence on that one here. Keith Hernandez. 64. That's a 41. That's such a weird number in APBA. Because that is some sort of weird. That's going to be That's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. And high throw over Franklin Stubbs' head, and Hernandez is going to go into second base on a 2-base error, E6. So it's a 2-out, 2-base error on the shortstop. Let it fly. I guess he was rushing it a little bit and just kind of threw it up over Stubbs' head, and that rolled around out there in the outfield. Ken Landreau had to get after that. So McReynolds now with 2 outs and a runner at second base. It's 7-3. Mets 62. And that's popped up right side, and back goes Sachs. In comes Landreau. Landreau calls him off, and that retires the side. And let's pick up another run on a home run by Tuffle. And it's going to be Franklin Stubbs now in the top of the sixth. Coney's still in there. Here's the pitch from Coney. That's strike three. Slider, full Stubbs, one away. Next is Mariano Duncan, known as Dunk. And that's a ground ball, third base. Howard Johnson. Better hurry in time. And now it's the pitcher spot. The pitcher spot, we're going to bring in a pinch hitter here in the sixth. And who are we going to bring? We're going to bring in Madlock. Bill Madlock to pinch hit. All right, so let me see. Bill Madlock to pinch hit. I got to write him in real quick. That takes a second. And Madlock is a righty, so you don't really do anything there. All right. Madlock's pinch hitting for Tim Leary. Now, Tim Leary, go back real quick. He came in. When did he come in? Hold on a second. Tim Leary came in after those two walks. There were two walks here. It was a tough thing. There it is. That's where Leary came in. I just never put him into bat, but he's officially in the game. Okay. All right. All right, so it's Bill Madlock versus David Cohn. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch, and that's a 3-2 ground ball hit up the middle, and Tuffle gets there. Off-balance throw in time. Great play by Tim Tuffle to throw out Bill Madlock. And we're going to go to Cy Young. His name is Matt Young. He's a lefty. XZ. So Matt Young is coming in. He's a left-hander. I don't have any stats because they just APBA didn't think that was important. I don't know what they're thinking. APBA didn't give you any stats. Kind of XZ. So he had some velocity to have the X there. That means he struck out a few guys. And we're writing him in real quick here. So let me update you on what's going on. All right, Matt Young is coming in the game. And he's a left-hander. All right, since Matt Young is going to face Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry's 0 for 2. He walked and grounded out twice. It's the bottom of the sixth. It's the Mets 7 and the Dodgers 3. Now, the Mets have a couple of home runs, one by Tuffle and one by Kevin McReynolds. Here's the pitch to Darryl Strawberry. That's a strike 3, so blows one by. Blows the fastball by Strawberry. Next is Gary the Kid Carter, 62. And Fans Carter, back-to-back A's. So Cy Young, the kid, Matt Young, comes in here and strikes out both Strawberry and Carter. Now Hojo. Let's see if he can get the hat trick. And that's a 31, and that's not going to be. That's ball 4. So Hojo walks down to first base, and, APBA tells you automatically, there goes Hojo, and the throw down from Sosha. Not in time, so it's a stolen base for a Hojo. And it's Santana up next. Here's the pitch to Santana. 52, and it's a ground ball, third base. And I'm wondering if that's going to be a potential strikeout there. I don't think so. Not with a run. Nope. And Woodson, across the diamond, throws out Santana, and that retires the side. Coney's still in there. He's allowed 7 hits and 3 runs. He's in there in the top of the 7th inning. He's going to be facing Steve Sachs. John Shelby and Ken Landreau. 7-3 Mets. Here's the pitch to Sachs. 44 line drive, base hit center field. And Sachs is on with a single. John Shelby next. 24, and that is a fly ball left field in the gap. And McReynolds on the run and runs it down. Nice play by Kevin McReynolds. Flashing the leather in left field. Take care there, bums. All right, let's see. Kenny Landreau. Pitch from Cone, 55, and that's a ground ball and through the left side for a base hit. So Landreau goes the other way, pushes one out into left field, and we got runners on first and second. Pedro Guerrero now. So we're going to start, we're going to get some movement in the Mets bullpen. We got some movement in the Mets bullpen right here. Pretty good game so far. I mean, it's not out of reach. It's a 7-3 ball game. I'm going to look at for Gene Walter. Let's see the guys Mets were using. Walter, Leach, and McDowell. Let's see, Walter and Leach. Leach and Walter. These are the guys that they're using almost every day at this point. 1987 Mets. Mets gotten off to a tremendous start here. They're 26-12. In reality, they were 19-20. Their offense has just been on fire. Pedro Guerrero, right-handed batter, he's got a 1 at 66 and a 5 at 11. He's got a 6 at 33. So he still has some power numbers. He's a J1. That means he played most of the season. Pedro Guerrero with one out and runners on first and second. David Cone looks in for the sign. Let David Cone pitch to Guerrero. Davey Johnson was out here talking to David Cone a second ago, and he's gonna trust him with one more batter. Let's see what happens here. That's a deep drive, and that ball's there's no doubt. And goodbye. 7-6. Pete Guerrero got a hold of one and launched it into the second deck in left field. Well, actually, there's no second deck in left field at Shea Stadium, but into the parking lot at Shea Stadium. And the Dodgers have come back, and they're down by 1 run now. Holy smokes. Didn't expect that. 66. This is what APBA is known for. 66. That's a deep drive. That ball's gone. Way back. And that's going to be all. Mike Scioscia, lefty. He's up. And we're going to – it's going to be Gene Walter coming in. That's all for Coney. Going to have to make a double switch besides because Coney's up next. There's only one out, but we can't trust him in here. So we're going to bring in Dave Magadan. So we're going to put Magadan there at shortstop and then switch him over to third. We're going to put Hojo at third. So let's do that. Let's see if I can do this rather quickly here. All right, Magadan comes in. All right, Magadan's in there. Now, Magadan, we're going to put him at third. No. Where's Magadan? He's at third now. No. And then Hojo, we're going to put at shortstop. So Hojo's a shortstop. Magadan's going to bat ninth. There we go. So Magadan is in the ninth spot. The new pitcher, Walter. I'm pulling a double switch here. Walter is where is he? Gene Walter is coming in, and Walter's going to be batting 8th. All right, there we go. Okay, so it's going to be Magadan. Let's grab Magadan real quick. Seven 6 ball game, so it's turned into a heck of a game now. Magadan will be up, and Santana's out. And right now it's Mike Sosha, nobody on. 1 out. Gene Walter, he's got a W, so he can get wild. And that's a fly ball left field. Hit on the screws, but right at McReynolds for out number 2. Woody Woodson. The pitch to Woody Woodson, that's going to be a second column. This could tie it up with a home run, but it's not. It's going to be a line drive, base hits center field. So Woodson's on with a single. And there goes Woodson. The throw down, not in time. Stolen base for Woodson. So the tying run is on at second base for Franklin Stubbs. Here's the pitch. And that's a 21, and that's a deep drive, left center field. On the run is McReynolds and gets there. And that retires the side. So he drove it the opposite way. But McReynolds hadn't played perfectly and ran it down. Dave Magadan. And Matt Young still in there. 55, that's line drive base hit. Magadan on with a single. Mookie Wilson next. 31, and that is a ground ball up the middle. Magadan is going to have to stop at second base. Played quickly by John Shelby. Got to that ball real quick and kept Magadan at second. So first and second, and Tuffle is up. And we're going to try to bunt here. Put second and third on. And that's a successful bunt for sure. Whoa. And that's a 53 second. That's a 6. He runs on first and second. A 6, 5 to 4. So that's the third baseman, Woodson. Barehands it, throw to first in time. Just got Tuffled by half a step, but that's a heck of a sacrifice bunt. 5-4. Both runners move up. You know, APBA has a very complicated bunt system. You have to have a bunt for every on-base situation. They have a huge, like 5 pages for a bunt. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. All they have to do is say, okay, these numbers are a good bunt, these numbers are a bad bunt. End the story, because they're not rating these guys for bunts. So why just not average out how often a guy hits a bunt for a bunt? And, you know, and that's it. I mean, every other system had simplified it. Keith Hernandez, second and third. They're going to walk Keith Hernandez here. They're going to walk Keith Hernandez. Well, you know what? You want to walk the lefty and pitch to the righty? Let me take a quick peek at what we got in terms of pitchers. Let's see. Let's go to the next game. Saturday, May 23rd, 1987, using actual lineups here. And Matt Young again. Matt Young pitched the next game as well against the Mets. So he appeared in back-to-back games in 1987. Known as Cy Young. All right, here we got a few more pitchers. We got Havens, Howell, and Young again. 3 games in a row. Wow, that was a different era. Havens is coming in, and Howell. Okay, we got 2 more guys. So we're gonna walk Hernandez, potentially walk Hernandez. That loads the bases. We're going to bring the infield in with 1 out. And we're going to bring in a righty, Howell. Howell's coming in, but I may have to pull a double switch here. Mike Sosha, Hatcher. Okay, we're going to pull a double switch again. So I have to, really get my head in on this one. Going to pull a double switch. We're going to bring in Hatcher to play first base. So Hatcher is going to replace Stubbs at first. He's an ex-Met, Mickey Hatcher. So Mickey Hatcher bats righty. So we're popping him into the roster here. I create the roster as I play, include, once they're in. I won't have a problem anymore. No, he's not going to take the offensive spot. So he's coming in, but he's going to bat in the 9th spot. He's going to bat in the 9th spot. There you go. So he's batting in the 9th spot. And then the pitcher, the new pitcher, the righty, we're going to bring in Howell. And Howell will be pitching to the right-hander McReynolds. And that's Ken Howell, the Raven, also known as the Raven. Yeah, and I remember I was going to tell you a story about I heard from a guy who knew a guy who got somebody to go up to George Brett and take their APBA card to George Brett to get it signed. So Ken Howell is a right-hander, and he is a D pitcher, but he is an XY pitcher. So that means he's got strikeout potential. All right, so that's pretty much it. So we're going to get him in the game, and he's going to be batting 7th. He'll be batting 7th. And let me finish telling you the story. So they go up to George Brett with his APBA card. Hey there, Sports Time Machine, 1987, a little bit different than 88. I could have done 88, but I'm doing 87 because that's what I had. I think I sold 88. I had 88 with other companies, but I wanted to play APBA. I like to keep on perpetually playing an APBA is my first game, so I got a very soft spot in my heart for APBA. But anyway, Duncan, Manlock. Okay, so my story is, so a friend of a friend of a friend knew somebody who was working in Royal Stadium, and they go up to George Brett with the APBA card and say, George, here's your APBA card, dude. Can you sign this, please? And he looks at the nickname. He says, why do they got that as my nickname? That's not my nickname. So anyway, the whole, it brings into question, APBA nicknames. How official were they? Did they make up some nicknames every so often? Was it hearsay that they were the nicknames? Some guys, it was their nickname. But I don't know if everybody knew everybody's nickname. What if you had like a nickname that was, kind of like a vulgarity, right? Then all of a sudden you can't really put that on the APBA card. So anyway, all right, let's find out what's going on here. We got Keith Hernandez at first. Mookie Wilson is at second. Dave Magadan at third base. Bases are loaded. There's one out. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. Mets are up by a run, so they have a chance to break it open here. Kevin McReynolds, who's 1 for 4, hit a home run. I believe it was his 11th of the year. And he's going to be facing Ken Howell. Ken Howell has a heck of a fastball. Can blow it by guys. He's got an XY on his card, which means he's got, those are power numbers. And we're ready to roll. He's going to be a C for this batter. He gets kicked up a notch from a D to a C. So let's roll. Here he looks in for the sign, and here's the pitch. And that's a 34, which is a line drive center field, racing in his Shelby, and he gets there. Now, let's see who's on third? Magadan. Let's see if Magadan can tag up on this. Shelby's a 2 center fielder, I believe. And no, he's going to hold up. They're going to hold up Dave Magadan at third base. So there's 2 outs now. I mean, he stroked that one, but right at the center fielder, Shelby, who got a great jump on that. And now it's Darryl Strawberry. And we're going to bring in the lefty. We're going to bring in the lefty now. Who is the lefty? Let's see. What did I do with him? Richie Havens. No, it's Brad Havens. He's a lefty. He's coming in. And hopefully this will be the last pitcher of the day because I'm running out of pitchers. But I got to get a lefty to pitch to Strawberry. Strawberry's been crushing the ball. He's got 16 home runs in 39 games. So Brad is a D pitcher, but he's going to be a C for this one batter. And then he's a Y. Got a little bit of power to throw by guys. That's what the Y means. Missing a little bit of he's missing control when he doesn't have a Z. All right, Brad Havens against Darryl Strawberry, lefty on lefty. So he checks Sosha for the sign. He sets and he deals. And that's a deep drive. Right field. Back goes Landro to the track, to the wall, up against the wall, makes the catch. Holy smokes. Darryl Strawberry got robbed of a grand slam home run. And Strawberry thought it was out. I mean, he stood there and looked at it for a little while. But no way Jose, Kenny Landro, went back to the wall, felt for the fence, leaned up against it, and made the catch. So the Mets leave the bases loaded here in the bottom of the seventh to go to top of the eighth. Duncan's leading it off against Gene Walter. Mariano Duncan bats both. Let's make sure we have him down as batting both. Yeah, we didn't have that. There we go. Now we do. Okay, using iScore. Here's the pitch to Duncan. That's a 64. 64, strike three. High heat gets Duncan. So Gene Walter blows one by Duncan, and now we get the top of the order. Well, actually, no. We get the Mickey Hatcher. Mickey Hatcher's up. There we go. We pulled a double switch. There's a reason for that. 32, ground ball, chopped to the second baseman. Tuffle off balance, throws out Hatcher. Great play, Tim Tuffle. He's made a couple of nice plays out there. There you go. Steve Klein was never known as Sunshine. Is that his APBA card, Sunshine? I don't know, man. They must have sat around a table and, having like yodels and Twinkies and whatever they did and just made up some names. Said, this guy, let's put Sunshine. Because, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't easy to come, get information back then. It's not like today. We just can look up anything, right? Back then it was tough. So anyway, all right. So it wasn't Sunshine. Yeah, I didn't think so. That's another one I can add to the story. All right, so there's 2 outs, and it's going to be who's up now? Let's see. We got a lot of guys here. I don't put them. I leave them in this pot, so I know I use them. Steve Sachs. Steve Sachs is 2 for 4. He's grounded out twice and singled twice. Here's the pitch from Walter, 44, and that's a ground ball shortstop. Nice play by Johnson. Throws and gets him at first, and that retires the side. Or bottom of the 8th. Gary the Kid Carter against Brad Haven. And it's a ground ball, shortstop. Duncan takes his time. 1 down. Hojo. And that's line drive base hit for Hojo. Hojo's on with a single. Lines out 1 to Kenny Landro. Gets it in on a hop. And there goes Hojo. Throw down, not in time. Second stolen base of the game for Howard Johnson. Dave Magadan next. No, it's the pitcher spot. So we're going to hold on to that dice roll. We're not going to look at that. We don't want to know. Let's get a pinch hitter here. Lee Mazzilli's coming in. Lee Mazzilli's going to pinch hit for Walter. So we can get a new pitcher. Mazzilli's in there. There you go. So Mazzilli batting he's a switch hitter batting from the left side against, he should bat from the right side. We may not have made Havens a lefty. We did not. That's what happened. There we go. He's a lefty now. All right, so Mazzilli. Mazzilli now with 1 out, runner on second. And so Walter's out. He's gone. And here's a pitch to Mazzilli. Actually, we could have used that the die roll, but it doesn't matter. That's a fly ball right field, and Hojo is fast, so he may be able to tag up on this. And Landro is, I believe, he's a 1. Let me look at Landro. No, he's a 2. So he's going to tag up, and the throw to third, not in time. So it's a fly ball to right. Johnson tags up, and now he's at third base. And it's the top of the order. It's going to be – oh, no, now it's Magadan. Magadan came in on a double switch. All right, 43. And that's a comebacker to Havens, unless it's a strikeout. Let me double check that with the runner 2 out, with a runner at third. 29 with a runner at third. You got to look in the book. There's a whole chart. I hate charts, but it's the nature of the beast. And no, it's a comebacker. And Havens feels his position, throws out Magadan, and that retires the side. We got a new pitcher. It's going to be Roger McDowell coming in. So Roger McDowell, he's a C pitcher. He's coming in for the Mets. A CZ. All right. And he's going to be facing John Shelby, Kenny Landro, and Pedro Guerrero. The score is 7-6. The Dodgers have 6 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, 7 left on base. The Mets have 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors, 14 left on base. So you've seen 23 hits here, 13 runs, 2 errors, and 21 men left on base in this game. All right. It was Valenzuela against Coney to start the game, but they were not at their best. So we're in the top of the 9th. The Mets are 3 outs away from winning their 27th game of the season. They're 26-12 as it stands now. Here's the pitch. That's a 6-2, and that's a strikeout. So high heat gets Shelby 1 away. Kenny Landro. Now, Kenny Landro has decent power. He's got a 1 at 66, so you don't want to roll that. And that's a 12. That's grounded to the second baseman, Tuffle. Easy play. Nice hop for Tuffle on that. And there's 2 outs. So the Mets are 1 out away from another victory. And it's Pedro Guerrero. He hit a 3-run homer. He brought the Dodgers within 1 run. It was 7-3, and up came Guerrero and got a hold of one, launched into the left field seats. Here's the pitch to Guerrero. Can't do it again. And that is line base hit for Guerrero. He's on at first with a single. So Guerrero on at first. Now he's slow. We would like to get a pinch runner here. Who do we got? Who can we run? Those are my pitchers and my batters. Let's see what we do with my batters. My pinch runners and my batters. I don't know what I do with them. Let's see if I have any. Oh, no, here they are. Okay, Landrum, Anderson, Marshall, Trevino, and Ramsey. Let me take a quick look and see what's going on here. A guy named Brian is in there, but Trevino, can he run? Well, Trevino's better than Guerrero, and he can't play first base, but we'll work that out. So Trevino's going to come in to run at first base. Pinch runner, Trevino. Got to write him in. Alex Trevino. Alex Trevino is an ex-Met as well. So, all right. So Alex Trevino's in there running. I'll probably stay in if this game goes into extra innings. So it's 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. We got a runner at first base. Mike Scioscia is the winning run. well, the go-ahead run because it's the top of the inning. So Mike Scioscia is batting from the left side. He's a left-handed. Well, actually, he's a left-handed hitter, so he's batting from the left side. That's what left-handed hitters do. Mike Scioscia, 2 outs, tying run at first base. McDowell checks in for the sign. Here's a pitch. And that's a line drive center field. On the run is Wilson to the track, reaches out, makes the catch, and that's the ball game. Holy smokes. Great catch by Mookie Wilson, and that's the ball game. The Mets win it. And Mike Scioscia gave it a ride, but couldn't get it past the center fielder, Mookie Wilson, who got a great jump on that ball, and with his speed was able to run it down. So the Mets win it. And the victory is going to go to, the victory is going to go to the starting pitcher. Starting pitcher gets the victory. I mean, the Mets led the whole way. They never were challenged. David Cone, he went the 5 that he needed. And McDowell is going to get a save. And I'll tell you their records in a second. The loss is going to go to Fernando Valenzuela, who got beat up pretty well. And I'll tell you their records right now. Going back into I want to go to Game Manager. So what time is it? 12:20. I have work tomorrow. Dodgers, Mets. All right, let's see. So Coney's going to get the victory here. Team stats. And I'm going to go back and double check. Coney won his 5. But I'm pretty 90% sure. Oh, yeah, he did go. He was in the 7th. All right, so Cone. Let's see what Cone gets here. Cone picks up his he's 2-3 now. His second victory. He's got 30 innings. His ERA is 4.80. No. Oh, his Cone's ERA is 9.20. So it has not been pitching well. He's given up 31 earned runs in 30 innings. Let's see, and that's Roger McDowell. That was his 4th save in 13 innings pitched. His ERA is 4.85. So the Mets win it by a score of 7-6. Exciting ball game. It didn't look like it at the beginning. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. You're welcome, Scott. Thanks for stopping by, brother. So I'll give you the quick recap, and then we'll sign off for the night. Playing APBA Basic, one of my favorite games of all time. The Dodgers had 6 runs. Let's see. Hold on a second. All right, Dodgers had 6 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors, 8 left on base. Mets had 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors, 14 left on base. Team batting for the Mets. Let's see who really stood out in terms of the team batting. Tim Tuffle had 3 hits, 3 for 4 with a home run. And Mookie Wilson had 2 hits, as did Gary Carter and Hojo. Hojo had 2 stolen bases as well, 2 singles and 2 stolen bases for Hojo. And that's it. So thanks for stopping by. Remember that this is your home for tutorials, strategy, player profiles, history, reviews, news, tips, tops, baseball cards, rants, unboxings, and so much more. This is CP Cards and Dice, your host, saying thanks for stopping by, and I'll see everybody soon. Take care now.